Today, we're going to take a look at some more of Google's guidelines, and we'll be discussing the top 5 SEO mistakes that webmasters make. Now, this is based on a Google Webmaster video that was published on April 29, 2013, and was presented by Matt Cutts, who is the head of Google's anti-spam team. The original video can be found on YouTube, and I'll put the link to the original video in the transcript of this recording. In this video, Matt is looking at the most common mistakes made by people who own websites. The first mistake that Matt mentioned was not having a website at all for your business. However, assuming that we do in fact have a website, the first real mistake would then be to fail to make your website crawlable. And in this, he's referring to the ability of both human visitors and Google's web spiders to navigate your website. He recommends that we make sure our best content is easy to find on our website. So we need to make sure that when a human visitor arrives, they can easily navigate their way around our website to find exactly what it is that they're looking for. The information should be easy to find, and it should only ever be a few clicks away. Navigation on a mobile device can be even trickier given the small size of the screen, so it makes sense to pay attention to the human visitor's experience via mobile as well. The other thing that you need to make your site crawlable to are Google's robots or web spiders, and these are just the little pieces of code that crawl the internet to find websites and then crawl throughout the website to find all of its pages. These spiders take the information that they've found back to Google, and Google uses that information to determine whereabouts the individual pages will appear in rankings for different searches or queries. So it's really important that your website is absolutely accessible to these little bits of code. So this is one of the technical processes that is absolutely critical to your site's online visibility. The second problem Matt Cutts mentioned was not having the right words on your page. He went on to talk about how important it is to make sure that you're thinking about what a human visitor is likely to be interested in and likely to be searching for. So, in our case, what words do real people use to find dentists and dental services? And what queries do they type into the search box if they don't know the dental jargon? You see, it got me thinking about how it can be so very important to include some layman's terms in our website. So whilst we as dentists might use the term occlusal splint for bruxism, a person who doesn't know about occlusal splints or who has never heard about bruxism is obviously not likely to use these words. Rather, they'd be typing in something like, "How can I stop my teeth from grinding?" So Matt's suggesting that if we have these words on our website somewhere, we're much more likely to attract the attention of people researching the possible solutions to these problems. He also mentioned that we ought to think about what people really want to know about our business, or in our case, our practice. So that would include a lot of information about the services we provide, our location, and our business hours. We should also provide information about useful things like the best place to park, how to find us easily. And we can do that in lots of ways. So for example, by embedding a Google map in our website, or by providing images of the outside of our practice, or by providing written directions. All of these things will help people to find us. The third thing that Matt Cutts spoke about was the importance of changing your mindset a little bit when it comes to your online visibility. He asked us to stop thinking about link building and to think instead about providing compelling content and about marketing our business. So this part of his message is all about being really careful about not getting caught in the SEO trap. He urged us to think about some offline options, what might be available for making our business better known in our community. Things he mentioned were billboards and clever guerrilla marketing. But the thing that really resonated to me was the importance of reaching out and becoming more well known throughout your community. And there are lots of ways of doing that. For example, you might sponsor your local football team, or you might do some presentations in your local school. He said we shouldn't just rely on the internet to attract new people to our business, or in our case, new patients to our practice. So this section of the video got me thinking that it's really important not ever to fall in the trap of thinking that your online presence is set and forget. It's always something that needs some energy, and it always needs some input. A website in a state of growth, one that continues to offer value to its visitors, is a sure sign to Google that the business is active and thriving. The fourth thing that Matt sees not being done very well is adding titles and descriptions to really important pages on our website. He's referring to things that we call meta tags, which are important words that reside in the background of our website's code. The meta description and the meta title determine what shows up in our snippets, and these are just the words that appear next to your website's address in the search results. So you need to treat these like a mini advertisement. You need to write them so that they're compelling or enticing to viewers. You need to write something that will encourage people searching for something to click through to your website. Now, of course, since we're Australian dentists, we also need to ensure that these snippets only contain wording that complies with our guidelines. It's important to remember that, in the case of the description, we've got less than 160 characters available to us to show that our website is a good resource to answer their queries. So every single one of those characters is important. We really need to think very carefully about creating meaningful and helpful snippets that help people to click through to our website. The final thing that Matt Cutts recommended was that all website owners should use resources like Google Webmaster Tools and Google Analytics. He emphasised how important it is that business owners understand how Google and the other search engines work, and also to understand their rules. Now, I'd like to add that it's absolutely critical to keep an eye on your website's results, because you can't properly manage anything that you're not measuring. It's also important to ensure that you have your analytics dashboards configured so that they provide meaningful reports. Don't just accept the reports that come out of the box. So that's the top 5 SEO mistakes made by business owners. Now's a really good time to review the video and to figure out whether you're making any of those mistakes on your website. Now, if some of these are affecting your online visibility and you need help in solving that problem, please make sure that you give us a call, because we're here to help.